You ever get that feeling, where you're stuck just planning and planning, waiting for that perfect moment to start, but it never really comes? Well, we're going to talk about that. We're going to dive into why that habit, that overthinking, might just be the one thing that's sabotaging your future, and more importantly, how you can actually break free from it.
And this quote, man, it just nails it, right? It gets right to the heart of the problem. We tell ourselves we're being smart, we're being strategic, we're just doing our homework. But what if all that careful, smart planning is really just a mask? What if it's just fear in disguise, helping us avoid that scary, uncertain first step?
Which brings us right to our first big idea here, the perfection trap. This is that mental maze we build for ourselves, where the obsession with having a flawless plan actually stops any plan from ever happening at all.
I mean, it just sounds right, doesn't it? It feels so logical. We're all taught that if we just think a little bit more, analyze from one more angle, or get one more piece of data, we'll find that perfect, mistake-proof path forward. And that idea, it's really tempting. But here's the question that changes everything. What if that core belief is just wrong? What if the constant search for the perfect decision is actually the worst decision you could possibly make? What if the thinking itself is the real problem?
So if it's not really about being strategic, then what's actually going on? What's driving all this? Well, that brings us to the real engine behind the perfection trap. It's not logic, it's emotion. It's fear. And it's wearing a really, really clever disguise.
Let's really look at this definition because it's so important. Look at those words, masks and fear. This completely reframes overthinking. It's not a sign of how smart you are, it's a symptom of anxiety. It's our brain trying to control a future that's totally uncontrollable by solving every single problem before it even exists.
And this slide just breaks it down so perfectly. On the left, that's what we tell ourselves, right? Oh, I'm just being strategic. But look at the right, what's really happening. It's a fear of failure. We say, I'm just getting prepared, but really we're terrified of what other people will think. That's fear of judgment. We think we're being smart when the truth is we're just stuck. We're trapped in indecision.
So seeing the pattern is one thing, but understanding the true cost, the price you pay for waiting, that's what really forces a change. Because there is a real, tangible price for staying stuck in that loop.
We all know this feeling. It's that mental hamster wheel, isn't it? Just running through the same pros and cons, the same what-if scenarios, again and again and again. You feel so busy. You feel like you're working on it, but you haven't actually moved. Not 1 inch. And here's the brutal truth of it. While you're in your head perfecting your little plan, the world, it doesn't wait for you. Opportunities come and go. Other people take action. The clock is ticking. That perfect moment you're waiting for, it might never show up, but you can bet that life is moving on.
So we've got to ask the question, and not to be harsh, but to really make you think. What are you actually waiting for? Are you waiting for permission, a sign from the heavens, some kind of guarantee that you won't fail? This is where you have to get really honest with yourself.
Okay, so if endless thinking is the trap, how do we get out? What's the escape route? This is where we make the pivot to the solution. And honestly, it's simpler than you think.
This quote right here, this is the entire secret. You are not going to find perfect clarity inside your own head. You can't think your way to a perfect outcome. Real, actual clarity. It only shows up when you start interacting with the real world, when you finally take that step and see what actually happens. And it really all comes down to this simple little loop you see here. First, just decide. Make a choice, any choice, even if it feels imperfect. Second, act. Take one small, real step forward. And third, and this is the magic part, adjust. That action gives you real-world feedback. You learn something, and you use that new information to fix your course. That's the cycle. Decide, act, adjust. Over and over. Now, this whole decide, act, adjust loop, it's not just a cute little tactic. It's actually the very core of what people are calling the 2026 mindset. It's a total shift away from that old model of endless analysis and toward taking immediate action. So why 2026? What's that about? Well, it's a symbol for right now, for this moment. In a world that's changing so fast, with new tech and crazy markets, that luxury of taking months to think about something is just gone. To win today, you have to move, learn, and adapt in real time, not based on some perfect plan you made 2 years ago.
And that right there is the ultimate takeaway. Real success, the kind that lasts, isn't found in some flawless blueprint you spend a year writing. It's found in having the guts to start with an imperfect plan and the agility to fix it as you go. So the final question for you is pretty simple. Are you focused on building a perfect plan, or are you focused on making progress?